Hello guys, welcome to a new video on factory design pattern. Factory design pattern falls under the category of creational design pattern and it is one of the very basic design patterns that you will be using. Today in this video we'll be discussing about one very basic problem where we'll have different factories for iPhone established in USA, India and Japan. Each of these factory will be producing two type of iPhones, that is iPhone Plus and Pro, and each of these series of product would be following some government norms, and according to that each Pro would be different from USA, and India and Japan would be different in very basic functionalities, right? So let's start coding and let's understand how to use factory design pattern for this. For some of you who have just started to understand design pattern and want to refer some book for better understanding or some more examples to enhance your skills there, I would seriously recommend this O'Reilly Head First Design Pattern book for you guys, because this is really very amazing book for people who want to understand design patterns from the grassroots level. I'll put the link in the description down below. You can click on the link and buy the book from there.
So, to have more focus on the explanation, I've already created the example and the complete code architecture for for this example. And let's jump into the code and let's start understanding how I've architected that code to follow the factory pattern. So, I have created few enums specifically for type of the phone, storage option that are available, and the SIM types because we have two SIM types for these phones. Now, I have created an abstract class. I've created an abstract class which contains few common functionalities and common variables for both Pro and Plus phones. Now, common functions or common variables, for example, are like we have the screen size, the camera pixel, the phone type, the storage option that is there for the phone. Uh, can you turn off the shutter sound or not? And is the shutter sound currently turned off or on? So if you can turn off the shutter sound, you can toggle the shutter sound as well. While taking a photo, you'll definitely want to know that. And then we have an array which contains the type of SIMs that are available in your phone. Now, the common method that I've created are like install softwares, do packaging, get the type of phone, get the type of storage, screen size, the camera pixels. Also, a method that will toggle the camera shutter sound only if it is allowed to do that. Okay, so that is why I have added an if condition to toggle the camera shutter sound. Now we have one more method that is taking the picture, which would just print that if the camera sound is on or off for now, so that we get to know that if it is successfully done or not. We also have a method which would return all the type of SIMs that are available in your phone. So this is the phone abstract class that I've created, and the phone iPhone Plus and iPhone Pro have to definitely follow or extend this abstract class. So I've created iPhone Plus phone and a Pro phone class, which is actually extending the abstract class. And only thing that this class has as a code is creating the constructor. So the constructor is taking few arguments, which definitely depends on the countrywide stores that are available. So for Japan, we cannot turn off the camera shutter sound, but the SIM types would be eSIM and physical SIM, or both physical SIM, depending on the type of phone. And for India, it would be one physical SIM, one eSIM. For USA, again, both eSIMs. So correspondingly, we'll supply in the type of SIMs. Can you turn off the camera shutter sound or the type storage that the user has demanded for from the corresponding factories. So over here, we are trying to set up three factories which will be creating these two products for us. So this is the constructor for this, and then again for the Pro, same thing but with a different screen size and the camera pixel. Okay, so initially, in both the classes, the shutter sound is always turned on, whether you can turn off or not, but the camera sound will be turned off by default, right? Now we have a store. I have created an abstract store class which contains a method create an order. Now create order does three things. It creates a phone. So we have an abstract method which would be implemented by each and every store of the corresponding region. Now, once we have the phone created, we would install the software and do the packaging and then return the phone to the client. Now, the client would dispatch it to the customer. Now, this abstract function that is create phone has been implemented by Indian store, Japan store, and the USA store. So for example, if you see in India store, we can turn off the camera sound definitely, but in Japan we cannot turn off the camera sound. So in the constructor, I have set these few variables so that it's easier for us to understand. And the type of SIMs that are available in the Japan store. So for Japan store, I've said that both the SIMs that you would have in your phone would be physical SIM. But for India, it would be one eSIM and one physical SIM. Similarly, in USA, you see that I have both eSIMs available there. Now, when you implement the create phone, I have added a logic where you can, based on the type of phone requested by the user, we create the exact object of the correct phone where definitely with the correct variables passed in. So over here, you see that we have passed in that can turn off the camera shutter sound or not. That is one variable, and the type of skins. That is one thing that we have passed for the Pro phone. And correspondingly, that phone instance is created and that is returned from this method. Now, once that is returned, we receive that in the create order function and we do the installation and the packaging. So this is how you can create multiple store. Now, if you want to add one more store for other region, you don't have to go ahead and do any changes or modification in your current code. You just have to implement the store abstract class where you would have to override the create phone method for that particular region. And your create order remains same for all these regions, right? And now if you want to implement one more type of phone, definitely all your factories have to be upgraded, right? So there all your factories, actual stores will add one more condition to create that one new product. Now let's see this code in actual running condition. So I'll go to the program.cs file. There, I've already written some code to create few stores and create orders for them. So I've created an Indian store, instance of an Indian store. There, I asked to create an order for a Pro phone of 128 GB. Now, when I've created this order, after receiving the phone, I am actually checking what is the screen size, what is the camera pixels that I've got in my phone. I want to take a picture from the phone. While taking the picture, first time, my camera shutter sound would be there. Now, I try to toggle the camera shutter sound and then take the picture again. Now, this time, ideally, because this is a phone from the Indian store, I should not get the camera shutter sound. So, that is one thing. Then I get the type of SIMs that are available and I try to print what are the SIM options available in my phone that are in my hand. Similarly, I've done the same thing for the Japan store and I've checked what are the different SIM options or is the camera sound actually turning on or off or not. Now let's run this program and see. Uh, okay, now let's scroll up. I have few warnings. Let's ignore them because I didn't want to add some time to fix those warnings for now because this is just an example for sure. So if you see in Indian store, I created an order for 128 GB phone, Pro 128 GB specifically. Please wait while your order is while we are updating the softwares for that phone. All software is updated, your packaging has been standard, your packaging has been added. So this is the functionality that is taken care by the create order after the phone has been created by the factory. So that means our factory is creating the phone. Now I want to check that if the phone is correctly created or not. So if you see the screen size is 6 inches because this was a Pro phone. So that has to be 6 inch. And the camera has to be 20, 48 megapixel. But if you see, shutter sound is true. That is, my shutter is sound is on. Now I try to toggle the shutter sound, and after I toggle and I take a picture, my shutter sound is turned off. That means this is an phone from Indian store. So I should be able to turn off the camera shutter sound. So which is happening. Now if I see the SIM type, I have one eSIM and one physical SIM. So if you see this thing, so this is one eSIM and one physical SIM. But on the other hand, if you see the phone from the Japan store, I created order for same 128 GB Pro phone in Japan. So the screen size, camera has to be same. But I clicked a photo, camera shutter sound was on, but I tried to toggle that camera shutter sound and then click the photo again. Now this time, second time, also you can see the camera sound was turned on. It did not go off because this is a phone from Japan and camera sound should not get turned off. Now, the both of these SIM type are physical SIM because that's what we configured. If you want to check, let's go to the store. Let's go to Japan store. And in Japan store, if you see, both same options that we have configured are physical SIMs. So this is how your classes or your store has been used by the client. Or this helps in extending your code with implementation of new stores or implementation of new products. So that is it about the factory pattern. If you like the video, please do not forget to share, subscribe, and like the video. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.